map entries in geography. 50. Garo. They are the part of Garo Khasi range in Meghalaya. They are inhabited mainly by tribal dwellers. Shillong, the capital of Meghalaya, is located in this range. The range is part of the Meghalaya subtropical forest ecoregion. It is one of the wettest places in the world. Two mountain ranges, the Arabella Range and the Tura Range, pass through the Garo Hills, forming the Great Balpakram Valley in between. The highest point in the Garo Hills is Nakrek Peak with elevation of 1412 m. Garo Hills comprises 3 districts. Tura is the largest town located at the foothills of often cloud-covered Tura Peak. The town is centrally located to other popular wildlife sanctuaries in the district such as Balpakram and Nakrek, natural caves, the Siju Cave being one of the longest in Asia. 51. 51. Khasi Hills. They are the part of Garo Khasi Range in Meghalaya and part of Patkai Range, and of the Meghalaya subtropical forest ecoregion. The region is inhabited mainly by tribal Khasi dwellers. The area consists mostly of hilly regions and includes the Shillong Plateau. It is drained by tributaries of the Brahmaputra and Surma rivers. The Cherrapunji Scarp in the south has one of the highest average annual rainfalls in the world. The Khasi Hills region is sometimes called the Scotland of the East because of its scenic beauty. The vast majority of the population outside Shillong is engaged in agriculture. The largest crop is wet rice, cultivated in the valleys and on hillside terraces. The Nongkrong Dance Festival is celebrated during autumn at Smit, the cultural center of the Khasi Hills. 52. Jainsha. Jainsha Hills, being a component of the Meghalaya Plateau, has its physiographical features almost similar to that of Khasi Hills. The only difference is that Jainsha Hills have comparably more flat topography with a mild gradient. The hills gently slope towards Brahmaputra Valley of Assam in the north, and overlook the gentle plains of Bangladesh in the south. The Maranksa Peak on the eastern plateau of Jainsha Hills is the highest peak. The general geological formation is characterized by the presence of rocks belonging to the age group of Achaean and Tertiary. They are composed of granites, phyllite, gneiss, sandstone, and limestone. Kremlayat Pra, the longest natural cave in India, is located in the Shnangram ridge of the Jainsha Hills. Sinrang Pomyang, the deepest cave in India, is also located in the Jainsha Hills. Bedianklam festival is the most celebrated religious festival of the Jainshas. 53. Mishni. The Mishni Hills are a southward extension of the Great Himalayan mountain range. Geomorphically, the Mishni Hills area can be divided into 2 broad sections. The floodplains of the tributaries of the Brahmaputra River and the Arunachal Himalayas consisting of snow-capped mountains, lower Himalayan ranges and the Shivalik Hills. They have an average elevation of 4,500 m, and are dotted with passes such as Yungap and Kaya. Much of the Mishni Hills falls under the Dibang Valley district of Arunachal Pradesh. The area is sparsely populated and predominantly tribal. The major tribes of this district consist of the Adisandidu Mishmas of Indo-Mongoloid and Mongoloid lineage. 54. Abor. The Abor Hills is a region of Arunachal Pradesh in the far northeast of India, near the border with China. The hills are bounded on the east by the Mishni Hills, and on the west by the Miri Hills, and drained by the Dibang River, a tributary of the Brahmaputra. The Subansiri River separates it from the Miri Hills. They are an important tourist attraction. The hills are covered by the bamboo, oak, pines, teak, sal and a lot of medicinal plants. The deciduous and evergreen forests are utilized for timber, pulp and furniture. 55. Furniture. 55. Miri. Miri Hills lie to the north of the Lakhimpur district in Arunachal Pradesh, and are an eastern extension of the Himalayas. The Subansiri River separates it from the Abor Hills. The tribals over here have a unique culture. Due to increased human activity, they are facing some ecological challenges. 12. 56. Dafla. Dafla Hills are situated in Arunachal Pradesh. It lies to the north of the Tesparand, North Lakhimpur subdivisions, and is bounded on the west by the Naga Hills, and on the east by the Abor Range. The Pakli Wildlife Sanctuary, Sessa Orchid Sanctuary and Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary are the important sanctuaries located here. The Kameng River originates from the Dafla Hills. The hills are covered with dense bamboo, pine, and deodar tress. Jam cultivation is practiced here. 57. Mikr Hills. These are a group of hills located to the south of Kaziranga National Park. It is part of the Karbi Anglong Plateau. The Mikr Hills are comprised of coarse-grained porphyritic granites and fine-grained strongly banded gneisses. The general strike of the foliation of the gneisses is EW. The dip is either vertical or steep. They consist of Archean rocks and are inhabited by the Mikr tribe. Jam cultivation is practiced here. They are characterized by the radial pattern of drainage. 58. 58. Patkai Bum. They are situated in the Changlang district of Arunachal Pradesh. They were created by the same tectonic processes that resulted in the formation of the Himalaya in the Mesozoic. The Patkai Bum rising to 2000-3000 m is made up of strong sandstones and has synclinal structure. Covered with dense forests, they form the boundary between India, Arunachal Pradesh, and Myanmar. Features of the range include conical peaks, steep slopes and deep valleys. Climate ranges from temperate to alpine due to altitude. Shifting cultivation is practiced here by the tribes. 59. Tribes. 59. Naga Hills. These are the part of the Purvanchal. They are the complex mountain barrier on the border of India and Myanmar, Burma. A northern extension of the Arakan-Yilma system, the Naga Hills reach a height of 3,826 m in Mount Saramati on the India-Myanmar frontier. They form the watershed between India and Myanmar. The part of the range within India constituted the Naga Hills district of Assam until 1961, and since 1963 has been part of Nagaland. Placed throughout the hills are villages of the Naga tribes. Shifting cultivation is practiced here by the tribes. 60. Manipur Hill. Hill. Most important part of Purvanchal Hills, an example of ridge and valley topography. Its eastern boundary runs along the frontier between India and Myanmar. They rise to about 2,500 m, enclosing a large basin 50 kilometers long and 30 kilometers wide, with a lake occupying the southeastern corner. The Barak River, the largest river of Manipur, originates in the Manipur Hills, and is joined by a number of tributaries such as the Irang, Maku, and Tuvai. The rivers draining the Manipur Hills are comparatively young. Lotak Lake is an example of centripetal drainage, occupies the southeastern corner of the basin. 61. Khasi Hills. Khasi Hills. The name Khasi comes from the word Kuhai, which is the name of a plant grown on the mountainside. Kuhai Ma means the men of the land, where the flower Kuhai grows. The Khasi Hills are composed of sandstone and slate, and have a very rugged topography. The drainage is of trellis type. The highest peak is Japvo, 2995 m. The country rock is hard slaty shales of the Tertiary and pre-Tertiary age. On weathering, it has given rise to a very rugged topography. The range and valley type of topography dominates the greater part of the Khasi Hills. Serrated ridges are dotted with dense forests, which are found to alternate with deep valleys containing fast-flowing rivers. The drainage is of the trellis type of folded structure. 62. Burial Range. Burial Range is a southwestern extension of eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot, and is the highest hill range of Assam, covering two districts, Kachar and North Kachar. The range in the southwest separates Nagaland and the Manipur Hills. The range is characterized by low to mid-elevation hills having tropical vegetations on lower altitudes, and subtropical broad-leaved hill forest attire. 13. Map entries in DFLY reaches the B-Rak River Orphan plus HTET, the Burial Ranfwan. It also O-TS the Berai, Wildlife Sarsknierv. 63. Lamidal. These are the hills present in Dichandal district of Manipur. The Chakpi River originates from the Lamidal Hills and flows southwestwards and joins the Manipur River at Sukmai. The slopes of the Lamidal Range, which overlook the Manipur Valley on the west, are covered only with grass. 64. Mizo Hills. Hills. Formerly called as Lushai Hills, the range in southeastern Mizoram forms a part of the North Arakan Yoma system. They form long north-south parallel ranges and valleys with steeper slopes towards west. The Mizo Hills rise to about 2,125 m, and their slopes are covered with thick evergreen forests containing valuable timber and bamboo. In the intermontane valleys, shifting, slash and burn, agriculture and some terrace cultivation are practiced. The hills are for the most part covered with dense bamboo jungle and rank undergrowth, but in the eastern portion, owing probably to a smaller rainfall, open grass-covered slopes are found, with groves of oak and pine interspersed with rhododendrons. Blue Mountain, also known as Phongpili, is the highest peak in Lushai Hills. These hills are inhabited by the Lushaser Mizos and Cognate tribes, but the population is extremely scanty. Vanting Falls, Fenswell Hill Station, Tampa Tiger Reserve lie southwestwards to the Mizo Hills join the Manipur River at Sugnu. The slopes of the Lamidal Range, which overlook the Manipur Valley on the west, are covered only with grass. 65. Tripura. Tripura Hills are located in Tripura and form the low western extension of the Purvachal, a strategically located island region fronting the border with Myanmar. The region belongs to the Assam-Burma geologic province, an unstable seismic zone crisscrossed by several faults and extending into Myanmar. 5 or 6 ranges of hills with north-south elongation ran parallel, having an average distance of about 20 km from each other. The principal hill ranges beginning from the east are the Jampuri, Sakangklang, Langtarai, and the Tharamura ranges. The elevation of Tripura Hills varies from 60 m to 120 m, and further east it rises to over 600 m. The highest peak, the Beetling Sib, is in the Jampuri range with an elevation of 975 m14. Ulu Mountain Peaks.